There comes a moment in life when you must stop explaining, stop proving, and simply start becoming. The world grows louder every day, filled with opinions, noise, and distractions trying to shape who you should be. But the most profound transformation doesn't happen in the noise. It happens in the silence when you turn inward, listen to your own heartbeat, and honor the quiet work of your soul. There is an unshakable kind of power that lives in silence. A power many people will never understand because they're too busy trying to fill every quiet space with noise. Silence isn't weakness, it is a sanctuary. It is the sacred ground where the strongest souls are built. When you stop explaining yourself to those who only listen to respond, when you stop defending your dreams to those who cannot see your vision, you begin to rise into a new level of peace. The moment you no longer feel the need to be understood by everyone, you reclaim your strength. In silence, you begin to see who you really are. The world is loud, everyone shouting their opinions, their judgments, their expectations. But when you withdraw from that noise, something extraordinary happens. You start to hear the sound of your own truth. It's subtle at first, a whisper beneath all the chaos, but the more you honor it, the clearer it becomes. That's the voice of your intuition, the compass that never misleads you. It tells you when to move, when to wait, when to let go, and when to hold on. But it can only be heard when you quiet the outside world long enough to listen. People often mistake silence for indifference. They think if you're not arguing, you've surrendered. But silence isn't surrender, it's strategy. When you stop reacting to every critic, every rumor, every unnecessary battle, you're not ignoring life, you're mastering it. You're choosing peace over chaos, growth over distraction. Every time you hold your tongue when provoked, every time you choose stillness over drama, you are demonstrating power, the kind that doesn't need to shout to be felt. Because true power never performs, it simply is. In silence, your energy gathers. You start to notice how much you were wasting on defending your worth, trying to prove your value, trying to make people see your heart. But you don't need to prove anything. The right people will feel your energy even when you say nothing. And the wrong ones wouldn't understand you even if you explained everything. Silence protects your energy, sharpens your mind, and deepens your strength. It's in those quiet moments that you begin to heal, to rebuild, to grow unseen, and that invisible growth becomes unstoppable. So, stop fearing the quiet, sit in it, breathe in it, let it refine you. The silence that once felt uncomfortable will become your greatest teacher. Because silence doesn't just help you find peace, it helps you find yourself. And when you finally learn to be still, to listen to your own rhythm, to trust your quiet power, you'll realize that you don't need to make noise to make an impact. The calm within you will become louder than any storm around you. Silence isn't the absence of sound, it's the presence of strength. When you decide to focus on yourself, everything begins to shift, not just the way you move, but the way life responds to you. The world has taught us to chase approval, to seek validation in the eyes of others, to measure our worth by applause. But the truth is, the moment you turn that energy inward, the moment you stop asking for permission to grow, you start unlocking a strength that no one can take from you. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean you stop caring about others. It means you finally care enough about yourself to stop abandoning your own peace for their comfort. The real transformation begins when you stop chasing noise and start honoring your own rhythm. It's easy to get lost in the comparisons, to look at who's ahead, who's succeeding faster, who's being noticed. But comparison steals joy and clouds clarity. When you bring your focus back to your lane, the road starts clearing. You begin to see that your journey was never meant to match anyone else's. You were designed with your own timing, your own lessons, and your own light. When you honor that, life begins to flow more smoothly. Progress stops feeling like pressure and starts feeling like peace. As you focus inward, the opinions that once pierced your spirit begin to fade. You'll realize how much of your energy was wasted trying to convince people to see your heart, your worth, your vision. But those who cannot see you clearly will never understand your path, and that's okay. You're not here to be understood, you're here to evolve. The more you invest in your mind, your growth, and your peace, the less you need to explain yourself. Your presence becomes your proof, your discipline becomes your answer. You stop arguing and you start achieving. And there's something beautiful that happens when you shift that focus. Life starts mirroring your energy. The more you nurture yourself, the more aligned your world becomes. The people who don't serve your peace begin to drift away, and the ones who match your energy start to appear. You attract better because you've become better. You stop forcing things and start allowing them. You stop chasing and start becoming. And that's when everything begins to change, not because the world suddenly treats you differently, but because you see yourself differently. Focusing on yourself is an act of courage. It requires you to say no when everyone expects yes. It means turning down distractions that once felt irresistible. It means building quietly when no one is clapping for you. But that is where real growth happens, in the unseen hours, in the disciplined moments, in the sacred space between who you were and who you're becoming. Stay patient with yourself. Stay focused on your journey. When you stop chasing approval and start building purpose, you'll find that the life you once dreamed of begins to take shape, not through noise or validation, but through the quiet power of alignment. Every seed begins in darkness. Before a flower ever meets the sun, it spends its earliest days buried beneath the soil, hidden from sight, quietly preparing to bloom. Your growth works the same way. The most meaningful transformation doesn't happen in front of an audience. It happens in private, in silence, when no one is watching, when no one claps for you. Those moments when you're working, learning, healing, and believing even though nothing seems to be happening, that's where strength is born. Every breakthrough begins in the unseen, and every season of silence prepares you for your moment of emergence. There's something sacred about that quiet stage of becoming. You start to realize that the universe protects your process by hiding it. Not everyone is meant to witness your early growth. Some wouldn't understand it, others might doubt it, and a few might even try to destroy it. So, life gives you silence as a form of protection, a space where you can make mistakes, experiment, and build without judgment. It's in that solitude that you begin to meet your true self, not the version shaped by expectations, but the version that was waiting to be discovered all along. The waiting season can be lonely, even painful. You might look around and see others rising while you feel stuck. But remember, every masterpiece takes time. Growth that lasts doesn't happen in haste. Just like the seed beneath the earth, your roots are forming in silence, anchoring you deeply so that when your time comes to rise, nothing can shake you. The quiet is not your punishment, it's your preparation. And the world will never understand the fire that was built in you when no one was watching. Then one day, without warning, everything begins to align. The opportunities appear, the doors open, the recognition arrives, but by then, you've changed. You no longer crave validation because you've built confidence in solitude. You no longer chase attention because you've learned to trust your timing. The person who once felt invisible now moves with quiet certainty, knowing that what's meant for them can never pass them by. What people call overnight success is really years of unseen dedication, silent discipline, and private faith. So, keep working in your quiet. Keep believing in your vision, even when no one else sees it. Stay consistent, stay patient, stay grounded. Don't rush the process, your time is coming. And when it arrives, it will not be subtle. The same people who overlooked you will wonder how you rose so quickly, not realizing how long you've been growing beneath the surface. Your silence is not empty, it's powerful. It's the sound of transformation happening in real time. And when the season changes, your growth will speak for itself loudly, confidently, beautifully, because everything magnificent starts quietly before the world ever hears it. So, focus on yourself not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. Stay silent not because you have nothing to say, but because you've learned that peace speaks louder than noise. Life begins to change when you stop chasing attention and start cultivating intention. Let your silence build your strength, and let your growth make the noise. The world will always notice when the quiet ones rise.